Yes, children, we are back with our English period and we are going to do our new voices book today. We are going to start with chapter 4, which is a poem, Just Imagine. Children, we all love to imagine or daydream about things, people, places, right? We enjoy to daydream or imagine things. It gives us lot of happiness. The other day, I was just imagining how nice it would be if I had wings and I could fly high up in the sky. I could go to places, I could visit my friends, I could visit my students. The same way, even y'all must be imagining things, right? Y'all must be imagining how nice it would be to go down and play in the park or go down and meet our friends. Or maybe something more interesting. Imagining always gives us happiness and it is fun. Today's poem that we are going to learn is all about imagination. The poetess of this poem, Miss Santini Govindan, is a widely published award winning author of children's literature. She has written many books for children. She's written many poetries, many stories, picture stories for children, and she has been awarded for the same. She is also a dog lover and she has a hobby of collecting bells. Now, the poetess Miss Santini Govindan is asking us to imagine what if a crocodile has to brush its teeth? What if a crocodile has to brush its teeth? Or what if an elephant has to use handkerchiefs while sneezing? It sounds weird, right? But it sounds interesting. So, in this poem, the poetess is asking us to imagine certain things which sound very weird, but at the same time, they are very interesting. She's asking us to imagine what would it be, how would it be if a crocodile had to brush its teeth, or an elephant had to use handkerchiefs while sneezing. She's also asking us to imagine what if a giraffe has to wear tie around its neck or a centipede has to wear shoes with laces. Here children, giraffe has a long neck. So just imagine if a giraffe has to wear a tie, then the tie has to be very long. And the same way a centipede, which is a worm with 100 legs, has to wear shoes with laces. So she's asking you to imagine a giraffe wearing a tie or a centipede wearing shoes with laces. She's also asking us to imagine what if children had wings and they could fly high up in the sky. She's asking us just imagine how many children would be there in the sky. So doesn't it seem to be interesting and fun? So let us start with the poem. Yes, so the title of the poem is Just Imagine. If crocodiles had to brush their teeth the way I do every morning and night, just imagine the number of toothbrushes they had need to keep all those rows of teeth sparkling white. I'll read it once again, children. If crocodiles had to brush their teeth the way I do every morning and night, just imagine the number of toothbrushes they would need to keep all those rows of teeth sparkling white. Now, here the poetess is asking us to imagine if crocodiles had to brush their teeth the way we do in the morning and at night, then just imagine the number of toothbrushes they would need to keep their teeth sparkling white. Children, we all have seen crocodile somewhere or sometime, or we would have seen the picture of a crocodile. Yes, a crocodile has a very big mouth with rows of teeth lined up. Yes, so if the crocodile has to brush their teeth in the morning and at night, just imagine the number of toothbrushes they would need to keep their teeth sparkling white. Sparkling means shining. Sparkling means shining. Yes. So the poetess is asking us to imagine a crocodile brushing their teeth and the number of toothbrushes they would need. Children will also see the rhyming word in this stanza. Rhyming words are words ending with the same sound. Rhyming words are words ending with the same sound. So I'll again read the stanza and will underline the rhyming words that come here. If crocodiles had to brush their teeth the way I do every morning and night, just imagine the number of toothbrushes they would need to keep all those rows of teeth sparkling white. So the rhyming words here are night, white, night, white. Yes, the sound, ending sound is same. Night, white. Okay, children. So we'll move to the next stanza. If elephants had to use handkerchiefs every time they sneezed or had a bad cold, just imagine how many hankies they would have to wash and iron and fold. Let's read it again. If elephants had to use handkerchiefs every time they sneezed or had a bad cold, just imagine how many hankies they would have to wash and iron and fold. Children, we have learned that whenever we sneeze or we have a bad cold, we have to cover our mouth with handkerchiefs, right? Now we know elephant is a very huge animal. So if an elephant gets a very bad cold or the elephant sneezes, then just imagine the number of hankies the elephant would need to use, and also the number of hankies the elephant will have to wash, iron and fold. Right? So let's read it again. If elephants had to use handkerchiefs every time they sneezed or had a bad cold, just imagine how many hankies they would have to wash and iron and fold. So let's see the rhyming word here, children. The rhyming word here is cold and fold. Cold and fold. Yes, let's read it again. If elephants had to use handkerchiefs every time they sneezed or had a bad cold, just imagine how many hankies they would have to wash and iron and fold. Yes, so shall we move to the next one? If giraffes had to wear ties around their necks, like I do to school every day, just imagine how long those ties would be and how they would dangle, flutter, and sway. Let's read it again. If giraffes had to wear ties around their necks, like I do to school every day, just imagine how long those ties would be and how they would dangle, flutter, and sway. Children, we all know giraffes have very long necks, right? So, if giraffes had to wear ties around their neck, the ties have to be very long, yes? So, the poetess is asking us to imagine over here. Just imagine if the giraffe had to wear ties around their necks. Just imagine how long those ties would be and how it would be when there is a wind or a breeze, how the ties would dangle, flutter, and sway. That means how they would swing or fly in the wind, right? How it would look. So let's read this again. If giraffes had to wear ties around their neck, like I do to school every day, just imagine how long those ties would be and how they dangle, flutter, and sway. So the rhyming word in this stanza is day, sway. Day, sway. Yes, children, understood? So, let us see the next stanza here now. If centipedes had to wear boots with laces, all fastened and tied up tight, just imagine what a tangle of legs there would be if just one of those laces wasn't done up right. Let's read it again. If centipedes had to wear boots with laces, all fastened and tied up tight, just imagine what a tangle of legs there would be if just one of those laces wasn't done up right. Now, the poetess here is asking us to imagine what if centipedes, as I said earlier, centipedes are worms with hundred of legs. We have seen them around in our building or maybe in our houses also. So she's asking us to imagine what if centipedes had to wear boots with laces, and what if one of the laces comes off or isn't tight, it has become loose. Then just imagine how much of a tangle there would be. They will get entangled. All the legs and the shoes and the laces might get entangled, and how much mix up or how their legs would get twisted. So again, let us repeat it again. If centipedes had to wear boots with laces, all fastened and tied up tight, just imagine what a tangle of legs there would be if just one of those laces wasn't done up right. So even if one laces come off, then just imagine how their legs would get twisted or entangled and they would not be able to move. So, children, the meaning of fastened over here is fixed or tied or attached, and the meaning of tangle is mixed up or twisted. All the laces and shoes getting entangled is known as mixed up or twisted. Yes? So she's telling us to imagine if centipedes had to wear boots with laces, that is, shoes with laces, all fastened and tied up tight. Just imagine what a tangle of legs there would be if just one of those laces wasn't done up right. She has to tie, the centipede has to tie 100 of laces, and even if one lace comes off or is loose, then just imagine how her legs would get twisted. Yes? So children, let us see the rhyming words that come in the stanza. Yes? So here we have tight and right. Tight and right. So the rhyming words in this stanza are tight, right. Okay, children. So let us move to the next stanza. If children like me wings like birds, with which we could fly and soar up high, just imagine how many children that would be zooming about in the sky. Here, she is asking us to imagine that if children had wings like birds and if they could fly and soar up high in the sky, just imagine how many children there would be zooming about in the sky. Yes? So let's repeat it again. If children like me had wings like birds, with which we could fly and soar up high, just imagine how many children there would be zooming about in the sky. Yes, it would be fun to zoom about in the sky, fly in the sky like birds. So she's saying, if all the children had wings like birds And if they could fly high up in the sky, then just imagine how many children would they be zooming about in the sky. Now, the rhyming words in this stanza are high sky, high sky. Okay, children, so understood the poem? Wasn't it fun? Now, let us see the rhyming words that we have seen in the poem, right? In the first stanza, we saw night, white, night, white. The second stanza, cold, fold, cold, fold. In the third stanza, we saw day, sway, day, sway. In the fourth stanza, it was tight, right, tight, right. And the fifth stanza, it was high, sky, high, sky. Okay, so now let's move ahead. Now, children, we are going to see some words from the poem. We are going to write down the meaning of those words and the opposites of the words. Okay, so let us see. The first word is sparkling. It is sparkling. So, sparkling means shining. Sparkling means shining. And the opposite of that would be dull. The opposite of that would be dull. Okay, so the word sparkling meaning is shining and the opposite is dull. The next word dangle. The next word is dangle. Dangle means moving, swinging. Yes, so the meaning of dangle is swing. The meaning of dangle is swing. And the opposite is fix. The opposite is fix. Dangle means moving from one place to another like a swing. So the meaning of dangle is swing and the opposite of that is fixed. That means there is no movement, it is fixed in one place. Okay. The third word is tight. The third word is tight. The meaning of tight is stiff. The meaning of tight is stiff and the opposite is loose. The opposite is loose. Let's see the fourth word. High. High. We say high up in the sky, right? High. So the meaning of high is elevated. The meaning of high is elevated and the opposite of high is low. The opposite of high is low. Okay, children, understood? Now, let us move to question answers. Okay, the first question is, why would crocodiles need a lot of toothbrushes? Crocodiles need a lot of toothbrushes. The answer is, crocodiles need a lot of toothbrushes to sparkle the many teeth that they have. Crocodiles need a lot of toothbrushes to sparkle the many teeth that they have. The next question is, what would elephants have to do if they were to use handkerchiefs for their colds? What would elephants have to do if they were to use handkerchiefs for their colds? The answer is, the elephants will have to wash, iron and fold too many hankies. The elephants will have to wash, iron and fold too many hankies. Let's see the next one. If giraffes were to wear ties, what would they be like and what would happen to them? If giraffes were to wear ties, what would they be like and what would happen to them? The answer is, if giraffes were to wear ties, they would be like children going to school and their long ties will dangle, flutter and sway. If giraffes were to wear ties, they would be like children going to school. Their long ties will dangle, flutter, and sway. Let's see the next one. How would the children be able to fly? How would the children be able to fly? Children would be able to fly up high in the sky if they had wings like birds. Children would be able to fly up high in the sky if they had wings like birds. Yes, children? Okay, understood. Now, children, I have some activity for you. Yeah, it's a fun activity. You have to make a drawing. Okay, imagine yourself to be an ant. You know how tiny an ant is. So imagine yourself that you are an ant and you're going to draw the picture of things around you from the point of view of the ant. Okay, how do the things around you appear to an ant? That is what you're going to draw. Okay, so imagine yourself to be an ant and draw things around you from your perspective. Okay, that means from ant's perspective. Okay, and then there is an assignment also. Imagine you have the power of transforming yourself into a bird for a day. Imagine that you have the power of turning yourself into a bird for one day. Then what would you do and where would you like to go? You have to write that in 5 sentences, right? So imagine that you get the power to turn yourself, transform yourself into a bird, and where would you go and what would you like to go do? You have to write it in 5 sentences. So children, learn the rhyme, complete the activity and the assignment. Okay? Bye.